Hey guys, just wanted to share a thought and maybe a question, an honest question as well. So, a lot of the popular messaging says that work has to be fulfilling. I hear it personally in my life all the time because I'm not somebody who I don't find my work to be fulfilling in the sense that I'm not looking for identity or purpose or self realization or self actualization through my work. I think work is just work. I enjoy it, but again, work is just work. It's very simple to me. I very much compartmentalize work from my personal life and my personal ambitions and the other areas of my life where I do find purpose and meaning and significance and calling. And I, by the way, 100% believe that every person is born with some kind of calling and purpose. 100%. What that is up to every person to figure out. But again, I don't think it has to be or that it should be something that you find in your day-to-day work. Some people do. I know some people who absolutely find purpose and meaning and significance in their day-to-day work. And that's wonderful. But I think the issue / question I have is, I guess, prescribing that to everybody. Making it a prescription that every person should find some kind of significance or fulfillment or self-actualization in their work. I mean, there are a lot of people who, for example, a lot of men who just pick up the work that nobody else wants to do, and work is just work. And it's a paycheck. They provide, whether for themselves or for a family, but that's all it is. And I think that in and of itself is meaningful. I think that in and of itself is significant. I think that's wonderful. I think it's worthy of so much respect and applause. I think it's actually not very helpful to prescribe or to say or to promote the idea that that one should find fulfillment and significance and some higher meaning or value in their day-to-day work. I think that can be harmful, unintentionally harmful, because in this economy right now, right, where a lot of people are just struggling to find work, anything, any kind of job for any way to pay rent and, to pay the bills, to prescribe or to teach or to say that work must be meaningful and fulfilling and that you must find some kind of like self-actualization or discovery in your work. That can be harmful because I think it adds an additional unnecessary layer of stress. Because again, if that person is just looking for like, dude, I just want a job to pay my bills. That's already enough pressure. That's already stressful enough in this environment, in this economy. And to add that other layer, it's like, bro, I don't have time. I don't have the luxury, the time, the opportunity to find a job where I'm supposed to find this additional meaning and higher value and purpose. Work right now has to be just work, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. For me, work has been work, and I actually really do like it that way. I don't want my work to bleed into my personal aspirations and my personal ambitions and where I do find purpose and calling and significance. I like the separation. For me, I personally find that to be very healthy. And I think I've had so many people to suggest to me and, look at me with like a raised eyebrow when I tell them that I honestly view, for me, work is just work. And I like that. I think it's interesting because as a Christian, I do fully believe that every person has a calling and a purpose to their lives. But that belief that I have, that I think most Christians probably share, that can get conflated then with the idea that, you have to find a job that ties into that. Again, I think that adds another layer of unnecessary complexity. And also, I don't ever want to use that idea, the belief that, my life has inherent value and purpose and that I have a calling over my life. I don't ever want that to be some kind of excuse for me to not do work that I don't want to do. I don't ever want to make that belief of purpose, of calling, of significance. I don't ever want that to be an excuse to not accept or to do work or to take on a job that maybe isn't 100% fulfilling. That maybe, yeah, there are aspects of it that I don't enjoy. And yeah, maybe there's grunt work and things that are not glamorous. So what? I think that can be a slippery slope to walk down, to be so focused, overly focused on the purpose aspect, on the calling aspect, so much so that we forget the inherent dignity and value of work just being work, and doing hard work and doing stuff that, yeah, maybe you don't want to do, and what you learn, what you gain from that. I think I've learned more from, I've learned a lot from doing a lot of things that I don't want to do, that I find either challenging, difficult, laborious, tedious, tiring, challenging. It's not comfortable, all that stuff. I talked about this in another video about grit, but it's that grind that, doing stuff that's difficult, but pressing on and continuing to do it, persevering, enduring, learning, those growth experiences I've gained more out of. And that didn't come from me necessarily finding jobs that had to do with or that tied directly to my calling. It just came from me doing some work, taking on a job that maybe wasn't the most glamorous, wasn't in line with what I believe is my calling, but I did it. And I learned so much from it. I don't know, maybe I'll change my mind in the future. But right now, honestly, I'm content with the fact that my work is just work, that I find purpose and significance and my calling elsewhere. And also in this current economy and in this current environment, I think it might do more harm than good to prescribe and promote the idea that, a person, that we have to, or somebody should necessarily look for work that contributes to their identity and purpose and calling. I don't think people have the luxury of that right now. I think probably what's most important is, dude, how do we pay off those college loans? How do we pay our bills? And that's real. That's life. I think in most of the world, outside of the US, it's not even just a luxury to make or to find work that is, meaningful and self-actualizing and purposeful in that way. I think it's not even an option. It's not even an option for work to be more than work. In most of the world, I think work really is just work. And I think there's dignity in that. I think there is inherent dignity in that. There's nothing lacking or wrong with that. Anyway, just some thoughts and some honest questions. Does work have to be more than work? And can't someone simply find dignity in work just being work? I think that's wonderful. I don't think it means that, you're lacking in your life, or that something is missing, or that your life is not as fulfilling if work really is just work. Yes, most people spend most of their days working. If it bothers you that you spend most of your day working, and if you're doing something that you don't enjoy, then yes, go find something, take the time then to figure out, and take the time and the steps to figure out what you could do that is more fulfilling if it does bother you. But if it doesn't bother you, then I guess don't let anyone tell you that it should bother you. All right, those are some thoughts and honest questions for the day. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a beautiful day, an exceptional day. All right, God bless. Bye.